Hi, in this video I will brief you about the Powertrain Demonstration Test Facility or the lab equipment that we have developed at Decibels lab. So as a part of this lab, the students can understand what are the components which are there in an electric vehicle. So when we say components, it could be as simple as a cell. If you see, there are different formats of cells. When we take a cylindrical cell, when we take a prismatic cell, there are different sizes, and the pouch cell. So it gives you an idea of what kind of formats of the cells are there. Then we have developed the battery pack, which are different configurations. If you see here, that like how do we use a cell and form a battery pack to achieve a specific voltage and also a specific capacity in the rating. Then once we are done with that, we also have our equipments where we have a BMS hardware. So the battery management system is a very important component which contains various different type of hardware elements. Maybe it is a MOSFET, AFE, microcontroller, or it could be a balancing circuit, or if you take a big component like this, which is having a current sensor, a shunt based and a contactor based for the higher current ratings. So the students can understand what is basically a battery management system and what are the components that goes as a part of the battery management system hardware. So then in similar, we also have the different type of cables and cables which are part of the EV that has been used here. We also have some basic cut section of components which are like the charger cut section and the DC-DC converter cut section, which is also here as a part of the lab. So then we move to the other sections of the lab where we have largely the motor and motor controller sides of it. If you see here, we have a hub motor and which the people can explain what are the components of the motor, how does the motor construction is and things like that. And then we move here, we have the mid-drive motor, which is a part of it. So where we can brief the students what is stator, what is rotor and how differently it is compared to a hub motor. We also have a simple cut section of the motor controller, which is as well here. And then we can also provide some additional hardware, which are something like this, where you have a cut section of different type of motor that we can showcase, and also a complete cut section of the theater of the motor controller equipment as well. So with the parts of this lab, basically you can teach the students that what is there inside the EV and its components and subsystems in a very simplistic way. Then when it comes to our overall system, and I missed out on the part of the connectors as well, that we can see here that we have equipment and different type of connectors that goes as a part of the EV. So you have the different type of connectors, which is CCS. So we have a CCS connectors here. We can demonstrate how the CCS connectors is and what are the kind of pins that goes inside here for the charging applications. And we also have the type 2 connectors as well, so that we can teach to our students that how the slow charging connectors are and how is the AC charging connectors are and how the DC charging connectors are and things like that. We also have a different type of connectors, maybe Chagori, and then we have different type of blockable connectors. We have Anderson, we have single pole connectors. Then we have different type of contactors, maybe low current contactors, like a high current contactor and a flatbed contactors and things like that. So this is kind of an idea for the student that how the components of the EV are there. Now we have seen everything is as a component, but now when we see the overall vehicle, right? So this is the test bench that we have developed, which is between here to here, that is there. So here we have integrated all the components of the vehicle. So we have a charger, working charger that is here. We have the motor, which is here. We have the DC-DC converter, which is here. We have the battery pack, which is sitting here. We have the motor controller, which is in the functional condition. Then we have an HMI and all the inputs and outputs for this. So this is all will be a working condition for the learner to understand how the overall vehicle will be functioning. So here the good option is with the cables which are connected here, you can connect to a battery management system and you can get all the data of each cell, voltages of the cells, the current at the cell, temperature of the battery pack. So all of this data we can get through the battery management system software access. Then we also have given an access to a motor controller as well. With the help of this connector, we can connect this motor controller to a PC, and inside the PC you will be able to get all the parameters that is required for the motor controller. Maybe you can set out of parameters and vary the motor controller as well. So in this way you can basically demonstrate how the overall vehicle is in the real-time system, and this is all in the working condition as well. So the motor is in all running condition. So you can change the different parameters for the student, and you can demonstrate how the system works. For example, in the battery management software, you can set like a current limit, right? Maximum current limit. and then you try to run the motor more than the current limit, you can demonstrate how the cutoff conditions will happen. You can set the charging current and you can set the discharging current, you can set the charging voltage. All of the software parameters you can vary using this. With the help of the motor controller, you can vary some components such as the current limit, the speed limit, the rate of rise, the rate of decline, the braking functions. So all of that you can demonstrate with the help of the motor controller software as well. So in this way, the student can get to know holistically what all the things that comes as a part of the overall vehicle, how does each system will work, and what is the importance of each component and subsystems in this. And then we also have given some options which are here as a part of this, where we have created some troubleshooting scenarios. We can create some fault conditions with the help of these banana clips, and by that way you can create some fault and that will not allow the vehicle to run or a whole system to run. You can tell the students to demonstrate and diagnose the issues with respect to these systems as well. So in this way, the whole setup gives an idea to a student or a learner that what is there inside a vehicle. So this is basically the fundamental basic equipment setup that every college or a university should have, or an organization should have, to give an idea that what is EV, what components comes in as a part of the EV, and with the practical facility, students can really understand and have their thoughts in their mind that okay, this is how components and subsystems are, than just part of the theoretical learning in place. Thank you.